Welcome to the Any Lab Test Now Toxicology portal. The next thing I'd like to do is demonstrate what would happen if we have a positive result. Another great thing about the portal is if you have to test a person again, you can just simply click on the plus sign for this person. It automatically pre-fills in the donor information as well as the account that the employee is associated with. You will need to put in the date and time of collection, which is one click by a calendar pop-up. And then you'll want to at least look over and verify that all of this is correct. And this time, you may decide that you want to run a different test. Again, the account-specific information is going to come up as well as the device-specific information. We will now click on that the test has not been performed and click on Save. And that will bring us back to the lab testing page overview. And notice now we have a new test in progress for Tom Get Tested, our donor. The sand timer is indicating that the test is in progress. We will now print the lab test order form that the medical assistant will carry with them. And again, this has the new specific information about the second test incorporated into it. Once you've printed the form, you'll carry that form with you. You will prepare the donor and perform the test. If the results of the test indicate any presumptive positives, you need to keep the donor with you. At this point, you will need to have the test sent out for confirmation. You will use an Alere on-site custody and control form, and you will fill out the form correctly as well as have the donor sign their part of the form. So it's very important that the donor remains with you until the results are read. Once you have filled out the form and prepared the specimen, you will send in a single specimen and you will order a confirmation for each of the positive tests. Once that has been complete, you can dismiss the donor and come back to the portal and edit the results. For the purposes of this test, I'm going to indicate that this donor was presumptive positive for PCP. I will then change the one analyte that he was positive for, and I can add in any information about the lot number, and I can add in the expiration date as well. You can also indicate that the test was performed now by clicking yes, and you'll also want to make sure you note that there was a presumptive positive screen because we did have one presumptive positive result above. When you click on presumptive positive, it automatically changes the result to a presumptive positive screen. The next thing you'll want to do is check Test Perform Yes, and then click on Save. So now you'll see that there is a red P next to this device. That means this is presumptive positive. Next thing you'll want to do is check the lab that you're going to send the confirmation to. And now you'll see that there's a sand timer next to the lab indicating that we are waiting for a result from the lab. Once that lab test has been returned, you'll be able to upload the result. But I'd like you to notice that once we indicated that a lab test will be done, the date has turned blue. This indicates by clicking on the blue, you will be able to see all of the donors that you have lab tests waiting for. So you can quickly see by clicking on blue that you're only waiting for one lab test result. By clicking on the blue, you get a quick overview of results that you're waiting for from the lab. So I'll go ahead and click on yellow, and that will take me back to all of them. The portal has the ability to predefine the dates for the lab. So if you normally get results back in 2 to 3 days from Alere, you can set up the portal for that. Once those 2 or 3 days have passed, this date will turn red, indicating that this result is overdue and you should check on it. So now we get our result back from Alere, and we can just check on what the result is. The result for this person was positive. You can see when I checked positive, the P turned red from the SAN timer. It turned to a P. And then the next thing you can do is upload the test result document onto the portal so that you can email or fax both results, both the presumptive positive result and the lab test result. Once you up the file from your computer, the portal will automatically rename it to include the lab result for the donor. At this point, I can email the presumptive positive result. The portal is creating a PDF and attaching it. And again, it's named the result, and this result is attached automatically, so I can send the presumptive positive result, and then I can email the lab test result as well. I recommend that you wait to email the presumptive positive result along with the confirmation result from the lab so that there's no confusion over what a presumptive positive means to the employer. Another thing that you'll want to note is now we've got a confirmation showing that both emails went through, and the portal has filled out that this person was positive for PCP, so we can easily see in our overview where that one positive was, and the date has turned black, indicating that we're no longer waiting for any test in progress. Here is what the result looks like. It's a branded result, and it has information about your location. It has your store email address, and it has your phone and fax number. It's a very professional result with information about the donor included and the testing device. So that is an overview of performing a rapid drug test, whether it be negative, whether it be positive. A couple of highlights are, again, I want to point out that when you have a test result, that an instant test result that is presumptive positive, it's highly recommended that you do not email that out to your customer until you have the lab test result to go along with it. If you do need to email out any results before you have the lab test result, you can edit the email to include that the customer should wait for the lab test result before making any hiring and firing decisions. Thank you for tuning in to listen to and view the Any Lab Test Now Toxicology Portal webinar for adding a drug test for a donor. If you have any questions, I would refer you to the Any Lab Test Now training manual that has information on using the portal, as well as you can contact Laura Bradbury, that's me. My email address is laura.bradbury@anylabtestnow.com.